Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to Cricket Happenings. On this part of the Cricket Happenings show, I'm going to talk about the India's team. As you know, West Indies are touring India, and the team has been announced for the two Test series against the West Indies, and I'll be talking about that. We'll have a look at that, where I'll be talking about it, and also the first ODI between, as you know, Zimbabwe are touring South Africa and they are playing their first ODI. Zimbabwe are almost back to their, not even, I wouldn't say full strength because there's no Sikandar Raza and Graham Creamer, but other than that, Brendan Taylor, Craig Irvine, Sean Williams, a lot of other players are back. I'll be talking about that. We'll also have a look at the first day's play. As you know, Pakistan and Australia will be, playing a series of test matches in the United Arab Emirates, and today was the first warm-up match which was happening between the Pakistani side versus the Aussies. Pakistani closing at 247 for 6 on the first day. As I said, this is a sort of a warm-up match. And also in the first tour match where West Indies are touring India, the first match, the both Presidents 11 did a good job against the West Indies, putting on 360 for 6. So we're going to look at these four things as far as today's cricket show goes. So first I'm going to start off by looking at the Indian team that has been selected for the tour for the West Indies as the two Test series. As you know, there's India's Test squad to face the West Indies. Well, one was a bit surprised. One knew that Shikhar Dhawan had a horror series in England where he collected only 44 runs and he was dropped as well. But as you know, he came back with a bang in the Asia Cup and took the player of the series by scoring a lot of runs. And keeping that in perspective, one would have definitely expected Shikhar Dhawan to be probably a sort of a perennial part of the Indian team for the Test matches. But it was a real surprise. There is no Murli Vijay. Murli Vijay struggled, but again, one also has to understand that this is being played in India where the Indians are real masters. So I was a bit surprised, not a bit surprised, I was really surprised that Shikhar Dhawan was not selected. Shikhar Dhawan was dropped. And not only that, other than Shikhar Dhawan, Karun Nair, as you would remember, even being in the squad, they gave a chance to Hanuma Vihari in England, and now he was a little passenger in the England tour, and there was a lot of criticism as well about what the Indian coach Ravi Shastri did. But now, what has really happened is that Shikhar Dhawan has been dropped from the team. Karun Nair, for no fault of his, he is also out of the team, and in comes Sen. But I'm very happy for this bloke. His name is a young Mayank Agarwal, who has been knocking on the doors of cricket with his very, very consistent performance. He is having a whale of a season in India. He has played 30 innings. He has scored 2,141 runs. He has 800s in that as well. So he definitely deserved. I fully support that Mayank Agarwal definitely deserved an opportunity. He scored well against South Africa. He scored well against Australia. Even in the both Presidents 11 and against the West Indies in the first tour match, he already has hit 90 runs. He has literally, I think, he has really forced the selectors to take him by talking with his wonderful performances. 141 runs in a single Indian domestic season is a new record for India. So that's the precise reason Mayank Agarwal has come, and I definitely wish him good luck, but I definitely feel sorry for both Shikhar Dhawan and Karun Nair. And also Murli Vijay, as you know, he's playing for Essex now, and he's doing a wonderful job there. And anyways, so this is what the composition. If they would have told that, they have rested a few players. They have rested Jasprit Bumrah. They have rested Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. One can understand that, but definitely, as I said, I'm surprised that Shikhar Dhawan and Karun Nair have been dropped. But I feel very happy for Mayank Agarwal. Wish him good luck. Prithvi Shaw is also there. Cheteshwar Pujara, the rock of the Indian Test team. Virat Kohli is back to captain the Indian team after missing the Asia Cup. Ajinkya Rahane, Hanuma Vihari, who played in England, gets an opportunity to play in India, so he'll be very happy about that. Rishabh Pant, who scored a century against England, is the wicket-keeper batsman, and Pant probably after that century that he has scored, I think there's no looking back for Rishabh Pant, which I'm very happy about. Ravichandran Ashwini will be the one who, and Arvinder Jadeja would be the spin twins for India. Kuldeep Yadav is also there. The pace bowling attack consists of Mohammad Shami and Umesh Yadav, who have to take the brunt of it with Kumar and Jasprit Bumrah rested. Mohammad Siraj, who has been doing a wonderful job as far as wicket taking is concerned. He has been, in fact, he had 11 wicket spree. In fact, he took 8 wickets, I suppose, against Australia A, which has really got the nod for him here. And he is someone who has made it to the squad as well. So I'm happy for Mohammad Siraj. He's a good bowler. He's a very good pacey bowler. And Shardul Thakur also is there. So that's the composition of the Indian team. But as I said, Shikhar Dhawan and Karun Nair have been dropped from the team. And Bhuvaneshwar Kumar and Jasprit Bumrah and Ishant Sharma, who is in the injury, and Hardik Pandya, who is also still not recovered from that injury, is also not present because of that injury. Well, so that is as far as the Indian test squad is concerned to take on the West Indies. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is going to do a brief preview of the first ODI, which is coming up between Zimbabwe and South Africa. Now, Zimbabwe are touring South Africa. The first ODI is going to be played at Kimberley. Kimberley is normally, as far as I know, Kimberley is a place where they are South Africa, as we know, are definitely famous for their very rich diamonds. And I think Kimberley is one of the sort of a diamond mine in South Africa, if what I say is right. But then, nevertheless, we get on to this preview of this particular one-day international, the first one-day international, which is coming up between South Africa and India, which is going to be played at Kimberley. Now, talking about this particular first match which is coming up, we will first have a look at the Zimbabwean team. And the reason I look at the Zimbabwean team is because Zimbabwe have gone through a lot of toughness, whether it is regarding the payments or regarding the normal order of Zimbabwe. Now, Zimbabwe are being the chief coach is the former Indian opener from Mumbai, Lalchand Rajput, and he has very confidently said that now the Zimbabwean team are at absolute full strength, barring Graham Creamer, the right arm leggy, and the former captain of Zimbabwe, and also Sikandar Raza, who has gotten in some problems with the authorities, but definitely things seem to be getting ironed out right now. But Sikandar Raza has been in some great form in this season, and one thought that if Sikandar Raza would have been there, it would have greatly strengthened the team. But nevertheless, Lalchand Rajput is a coach who really likes a challenge, and he has said that Zimbabwe would really prove very tough for South Africa. So let's have a look at the Zimbabwean squad. Solomon Meyer and Hamilton Mazza. Now, Solomon Meyer, let me tell you, is a very solid opening batsman, quite aggressive at that, and he really can hit the ball miles. Hamilton Masakadza is the captain of the team, and definitely one leading by example. Craig Irvine is back. Brendan Taylor is back, and so that is something a sort of a very, very strong point for Zimbabwe. Sean Williams is back. Peter Moore or Ryan Murray, it would be depending, but in all probability it would be Peter Moore. Elton Chubra is there to give some sort of thrust to the Zimbabwean innings during the probably death overs, the end stages. They have Wellington Masakadza, the spinner, and the bowling would be in the hands of Kyle Jarvis, who is to me is the sort of the spearhead of the Zimbabwean pace attack. Tendai Chatara, the tall bowler, and who really bowls in a miserly manner, and Richard Nagarawa. So this is the Zimbabwean squad which is going to be playing against South Africa. Now, as far as South Africa are concerned, well, they are really extremely strong. There's no doubt about it. Dean Elgar, and they are going to be playing in South Africa, so one can one can definitely vouch that South Africa will be very, very hard for Zimbabwe. Dean Elgar and Aidan Markram will open the innings. Reza Hendricks, who had a good, who slowly has started getting his place in the ODI squad after the retirement of A.B. de Villiers. So Reza Hendricks, then they have J.P. Duminy, who would be captaining the side. Henrik Klaassen is the wicket-keeper, and is a very aggressive batsman as well. Christian Jonker is another good player as well. And Wayan Mulder, the young leggy. Andel Felikwayo, Kagusa. Now Dale Steyn will be back in action, so that will be interesting to see as to how Dale Steyn goes. Whether there has been some wear and tear for Dale Steyn after being out of the cricketing arena for quite a long time. And they have Andel Felikwayo, Kagiso Rabada, who would be Dale Steyn, and Kagiso Rabada would definitely spearhead the attack with Andel Felikwayo, and Imran Tahir would do the leg spinning duties. But also let us talk about what's really going to happen. I'm told that the last 3 ODIs which has been played in Kimberley have seen some very good scores on this particular ground. So one could expect a lot of runs being scored for sure. So that is as far as the preview is concerned between Zimbabwe and South Africa, and I think it should be an interesting series if Zimbabwe could really live up to their billing after getting all their main players back into the fold. Other than that, as I said, Pakistan and Australia are going to be playing in the United Arab Emirates. And right now, as you know, Asia Cup has just ended in Dubai, but now it's time for Pakistan, Australia to start playing in the United Arab Emirates. So today was the first day of the first tour match of the Australian tour, Australia and Pakistan's tour of the United Arab Emirates. And on the first day, it was a Pakistan A taking on Australia, and Pakistan A finished at 247 for 6 at close on the first day's play of this particular match. So let's have a look on day one. As far as Pakistan was concerned, Shan Masood got 14 with 1 boundary, but it was all about Nathan Lyon, who actually did a wonderful job for his team, as Nathan Lyon bowled 36 overs, 5 maidens, 87 runs and 5 wickets. 1 wicket to John Holland, left-arm spinner, 24 overs, 6 men, 56 runs and 1 wicket. So the spinners, definitely Australia have stocked their team with lots of spinners, as they have learned their lessons well when last time they were totally drubbed by Pakistan with Yasir Shah and the other bowler really running amok among the Australians. But now Nathan Lyon and Holland have really, so that definitely shows that there will be a lot of it in it. A lot of in it for the spinners for sure. Mitchell Starc, was good to see Mitchell Starc back in action. 17 overs, 3 minutes, none for 36. Michael Nasser, 11 overs, 3 minutes, none for 29, bowled well, and Tim Payne, the Australian captain, has spoken very highly of this bloke, Michael Nasser. Mitchell Mars, 2 overs, none for 8, and Travis Head, 2 overs, none for 4. As far as the batting from the Pakistan A was concerned, some of the promising players there. Shan Masood is out for 14, but Sami Aslam, to me, is one who has a good technique, and he made 51 with 5 boundaries. Abid Ali is a player who really shown that what a stickler to the crease he can be, as he really dug himself in throughout the entire day to score 83 runs, facing 254 balls with 4 fours. He looked like, for me, a sort of a rock for Pakistani. Asad Shafiq was chiefly dismissed for 14 with 1-6. Iftikhar Ahmed fell for 4. Usman Salahuddin for 1. Saad Ali 36 with 4 boundaries. Mohammad Rizwan was not on 30, and the Pakistan A closing at 247 for 6 on the first day against the Aussies. And as far as the warm-up match between, as you know, West Indies are touring India, and today was the first day of the warm-up match between the Indian Board President's 11 taking on the West Indies. And the Indian Board President's 11, as far as the Indian Board President's 11 were concerned, I thought they did a good job in scoring 360 for 6, with Mayank Agarwal, as I said, was knocking on the doors of international cricket, and this was a timely innings from him, and this is the innings which really forced the Indian selectors to actually drop Shikhar Dhawan and pick in Mayank Agarwal, as Mayank Agarwal is in red hot form right now. He has scored 2,141 runs in the Indian domestic season, which is the highest by anyone, any player in an Indian domestic season, and that is a sort of a great tribute. And I thought he really merited the selection. He fought for it. He talked about his. He performed to force the Indian selectors to select him. And Mayank Agarwal, what a knock! Look at that knock of Mayank Agarwal, 90 runs. And he's a very aggressive batsman, let me tell you. He's not the one to be really standing there and just waiting for the ball. He's the one who is going to go for the strokes. And Mayank Agarwal scored 90 of 111 deliveries, which included 14 fours and 2 sixes. Prithvi Shaw was cheaply dismissed for 8. He was a victim of Scott Hetmyer bowled Gabriel, 8 of 8 with 2 boundaries. And Mayank Agarwal caught Hetmyer bowled Devendra Bishu, the leggy, for 90. Hanuman Vihari was out to the bowling of Lewis. Now, Lewis was a very impressive bloke. Sherman Lewis is his name, and he bowled superbly. I will talk about his bowling figures later. He made Hanuman Vihari making only 3 runs. Dhawan Nair, who was a passenger on the tour of England and has also been overlooked for this particular fixture against the West Indies, very sadly. Contributed 29 by hitting 5 boundaries and was a victim of the bowling of Shannon Gabriel. Shreyas Iyer did a very. Dhawan Nair is the captain of the team, incidentally, and Shreyas Iyer made 61 with 3 fours and 5 sixes. It was sort of a hard hit knock from Shreyas Iyer. But Ankit Bhavne, who has been doing very well this season in the domestic season, did a fine turn for himself. Definitely. I would say he would have definitely let the selectors take notice of him, as in the tour match he has scored an unbeaten 116 at stumps with 15 boundaries. S.K. Patel was out for 15 to Bishu. Jalaj Saxena was now 18 with 3 fours. And the Indian board presidents finished on a very strong note on the first day. They were 360 for 6 in this 2-day match that was happening. And as I said, if you look at the West Indian bowling attack, it was a very decent bowling attack. Shannon Gabriel, who is the spearhead, and he's such a wonderful bowler, Shannon Gabriel. 8 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 41. It'll be interesting to see what Shannon Gabriel can do on Indian pitches. On responsive pitches, he could be quite a handful, but Shannon Gabriel, let me tell you, he has lots of pace and bounce, and he could be quite a handful. Kimo Paul, 10 overs, 1 minute, none for 53, but Sherman Lewis was a sort of a real surprise packet, and I thought he's the pace bowler, but he bowled splendidly. Look at his bowling figures: 10 overs, 6 maidens, 13 runs and 1 wicket, and he got, I thought, the very big wicket of Hanuman Vihari. Jerome Varican, the spinner, 81 overs, 3 minutes, none for 44. Bishu, 21 overs, 1 minute, 104 runs and 3 wickets. Chase, 12 overs, 1 minute, none for 57. And Brathwaite, 11 overs, 4 minutes, none for 39. So looking at this, the Indian board president's 11th performance, I think one has to really say it's a good performance. And looking at the bowling of the West Indians, I thought the Indian board president's 11 have definitely done a good job here. Well, dear fans and subscribers, that really sums up the Cricket Happening show of mine today. Hope you all enjoyed it. With my next Cricket Happening show coming up tomorrow, that's on a Sunday, it's about time for me to sign off on this show. Thank you.